Hello everyone, welcome to the 2026 World Cup update. Score you won't believe, that's the title. Let's get on with it. Welcome aboard. So I'm just going to get straight into it. So basically on the episode, we are going to be talking about Blue in the last couple of games of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the Soccer Football World Cup. So here is a bit of a fact I've been looking up in overall. So we all been wondering just how wild this new 48 Team World Cup is going to be. More than teams, more than games, more than chances for clothes. So just for fun, let's imagine that tournament has just started in the second round of group stages matches from the June 18th to the 23rd of this month. So as just wrapped up, what if I told you a team making the first ever World Cup, a nation held one of the most domination football nations in history to draw? Picture this: 90 minutes of heart-stopping soccer in Atlanta, and the Titan of Tiki-Taka Spain held to a goalless draw by that debuting from Cape Verde, a 0-0 scorer that would send a sensor shockwave through the sport. If you thought this storming tournament would be potential, you'd be dead wrong. In this high comparative win wine of week, we seen history made, grand hundred, and the path to the final in New Jersey completely rewritten. So stick around, because there are the mentioned results that will turn this 2026 World Cup completely on its hand. Welcome aboard right now. Let's get on with it. So the host to an occasion, they're always momentum of pressure. The host a nation, which is huge, with these countries sharing the honor. That pressure is true in our Silikios. Two of the hosts aren't just meeting, experimenting, they're shifting them. Let's start in Grand, a city just bursting with passion. Imagine Mexico coming into their June 18th match against South Korea, having already won their opening. The mission be the first team to book a spot in their brand new round of 32. What followed wasn't some display of attacking fire work, but a masterclass in game managed and pull under granted grip. South Korea was arranged and tough. Ferris in tar for the most of the game, but in front of their home crowd, losing just wasn't an option. The breakthrough finally came, a single possession goal from Luis Rondo that sent the staving infielders Mexico gained that 1-0 victory and punches their ticket to the knockout stage. They then followed them up with another snap performance against Czech on the 23rd of June, finishing the group stage with a perfect record, 9 points. They haven't just qualified, they threw down the greatlets. But if Mexico's story is about control, the 19th neighbors have written a fairy tale before the tournament started. Canada have never won a single men's World Cup ever. But this time on home soil, they promote something different. And on the 18th of June in Vancouver, honor. They would deliver the most incredible in any possible way. They wouldn't just win. They'll put off heretic 6-0 domination of Twitter. Just imagine that a watershed moment for the Canadian soccer. The hero of the hour, Jonathan David, who simply unbelievable, netting a standard hat-trick. The crowd at BC Place, a sea of red and white, world be wisely history. To make Masters even worse for Wanta, their baseline completely humbleized, and they finished the match with 1-9 players. The victory, Canada's first ever men's World Cup, would so much more than 3 points. It would be a statement. It would present them to be in the Group B. A tough draw against Switzerland would be enough to see them through. For a team that never won, a team cruising into that round 32. What a story that will be. Meanwhile, the third co-host, the United States, would also be a great sport after a solo opening day win, with all the host nations looking strong. Huge giant, a tale of two furnish. Over in Europe, the traditional powerhouse have a windy bay of results in our week or if week, presenting both dominations to players and some of the tournament's biggest shocks. Let's start with the domination under the management Thomas Teague. England came into this tournament with a match experience. On June 18th, they faced a familiar England and put to ovation clinic. The final score is 4-2. Harry Kane would be a bagging 2 goals, but the players behind would be just as terrifying. Judge Bergham running the midfield and getting a goal, and Marcus Rashford a pace presenting to be a common nightmare. A powerful, reckless performance professional that would imagine that come and England as one of the 10 to beat. But for every talent of domination, there's one destiny, and no story is more shocking than what we imagined for Spain. One of the days, or at the same day, they travelled to a land to face the World Cup, the Brewers Cup. Vanda. On paper, it's a massive mismatch, but soccer isn't played on paper, is it? No. Come Vale, world person, one of the most headache and original defense stands you could ever see. Frustrating Spain's world-class attacker at every turn. The final whistle blows on 0-0. That feels like a win for the turning island nations. A censored result that throws Group H into chaos, and the struggles would end there. Birkin, another top-tier team, struggles against a rebounded Egypt. Egypt grabbed a surprise lead, putting the Red Devils on the back foot. Burgeoning punches, pushes, but to the end, they buried out by a lucky own goal, surviving a 1-1 draw, a result that would feel like a loss for a team of climbers. The upset world just coming. Imagine Portland, one of the favourites, also being held into a draw by Devils and Argentina in a match that were expect to win easily. They found themselves completely stumped. Another point dropped by the Egypt giant, making each Argentina as the Portland Duck hosts Hawk. Alright, I must check. Switzerland well provided a lesson in late games, ruthless against Barcelona and Hurricane. With the game tight, with the Swiss just blowing in the final 16 minutes, with John Manzibula scoring 2 quick goals before the giant Antman sealed a 4-1 victory with a late penalty, powerful reminding of the Swiss land's quality. Alright, so since we are seeing history made upsets for the ages, the table being set for a knockout stage, that looked absolutely insane. The new 48-team format will be delivered pure, unscripted drama. In a world where all this happens, what do you think would be the biggest surprise? Cumbervalley's incredible draw, or Cannon does he destroy win? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you love this kind of World Cup, well, generally make sure you hit that subscribe button. So we come to the South American powerhouse. So the giant of South American have led to the World Cup history, but they led it in our 2026 origin being anything but smoother with one big explosion. Let's start with personal favours. Brazil, the 18th of June, and they had their game against Mongonda, was spotted to be Southern parties. Instead, it was world being granted hard for 1-0 draw. Mongol, still riding the high from their last World Cup run, would play with confidence and liable to be in phase 10. The result would leave Group C wide world open and wrap that pressure on Brazil to find their ribbon. Gray, another two winner, world also find the going tough against a dominate San Abrasia after taking the lead, and Grinder world looked set to win. The Green Falcons world fight back to earn a point in 1-1 draw. This result would have massive impressive for the Group H, leaving every single team, ancient son of greater Spain and Cape Verde, between the level and point. Can you imagine that drama on the final match day? However, while these rivals thirders, Colombia would look incredible, impressionable, taking on the same unarmed team that frustrate Croatia. Colombia would Soviet led by the electric Luis Daza that would break down the Argentina defense for a Colombia 3-1 victory. The win would solid Colombia's strong position and send a clear miss lock Cafeasa of buying all cylinders. The on-strike heroes and emerging navigators. Beyond the headlines of grand superpowers, a World Cup like this would define by the incredible storylines of the underdogs. Take Scotland, for example, quality and potentially. They'll be putting together a fantastic tournament, a 1-0 victory over Hutt. Wouldn't be flat, but it would be a testament to their spirits, moving them the breadth of qualification from a tricky group. Then the story of South Africa facing a talented Croatia side that goes down an early goal for most of the match. It would look like their few hopes were finding. They never given up. In the 3rd minute, they get the penalty. To behold, Montcalm would step up with the ice in his van and slot it home, scoring a run 1-1 draw and keeping them dreams alive. This explored format would also create some wild sense. June 18th, in protection worldwide chose Buching, a fueling 2-all draw between Ireland and New Zealand. That would be one of the 4 draws on a single day, a statement while that would have been historic green bolio to see what the last happened. And if you can't talk about drama without momentum, the heart-winning clash between Goshan and Parman. Parman would be second away from their first ever World Cup point, climbing to a 1-0 lead deep into the stoppage time. But in the 95th minute, heart-broken Goshan Kalem Khan finds the net in the dying nation Everett scrutiny the point away. Poon escaped from Jihan Anton D. Funston for the Parman the version highs and lows that would only had a World Cup provide. The door's locked. So just to finish up, and I hope you enjoyed this, so we managed ourselves on of the final group stage match. This Hypothetical 2026 World Cup has already delivered more than ever we would ever dominate dream. The script has been combined turn up. We have co-hosts Mexico and Canada, looking like a combined with have Europe giant like Spain and Bongus 100 by 30 underdog. We have intergroup balance on a knife edge. This new 48 team format was designed to create more exciting and if more product. Anything like this, Solana will deliver chase and unbelievable inspired. Their real knockout rounds are set to begin on the 28th of June, and the battle to symbolize to get there is proved to be one of the newest combined stories of all. The path to the final in New Jersey is anything but clear, but we know it will be proved with shock results and unforgettable moments. Thanks for watching. We'll be back breaking down the real natures as happens. Until then, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you do not want to miss a thing. See you next time. Thanks for watching. See you next time. That's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. BJ shows out. Bye for now.